Hey, hello everybody. It's been a while. Got a couple packages to open here. This one, I'm sure some of the other guys that ordered this are receiving theirs as well. I figured I'd pop it open and give everybody a peek at it. This package comes courtesy of Electric Dreams, California. And if you guys know Electric Dreams, you probably know what this might be. This is the team car to last year's, for most people, the car of the year, which was the 1974 DN4 UOP Shadow. This one is Jackie Oliver. I believe Jackie won the championship that year over George Palmer. Yeah, and this pretty much is going to be, you know, a carbon copy of the last car. It's just basically different numbers and different paint on the helmet, but still going to be a really cool car to have. So get back in there. See what number car we have. This is, well, it says it's limited to 1,950 pieces, but it doesn't give you the individual number of which one of the 1950 this is. So it's just limited to 1950 pieces worldwide. There's your little card. As you probably are all pretty aware, these are designed by Ernie Mazzetti, Canada. So get a close-up of that. Beautiful car. I mean, you know, like I said, it's a mirror image of the George Palmer car. So just minor differences. There's a little red square on this one, 101 and number 1, the names, the helmet designs, everything else pretty much the same. It's got two little shadow logos in the back. I don't know if they indicated winds, if they were like a wind sticker, but I'll get these out on the track and give them a blast. Got one more car here. This one was an eBay buy. And this has been out for a long while, but I'm doing something a little bit different. As I'm doing in the modeling world, they would call it a code 3, which is I'm modifying this Camaro, Trans-Am Camaro model. And what I'm doing, I have a couple I've already started working on, is because no one has done it yet, I've taken it upon myself to make myself one. I'm making a couple just to do team cars, but I am doing the 1970 Trans-Ams that ran in the Trans-Am series, first by Jerry Titus and later on by David Hobbs. And there was a second team car to Hobbs. I I believe the man's name was Quartz, Cordts, I believe. I believe he ran Watkins Glen, and I'm not sure if he ran any races beyond that. I know that David ran a couple of races, and that was, I guess, after the team was to get itself back together after Jerry was killed at Road America. And so this is what I'm starting out with, body-wise, is 71 Pontiac Firebird, 1/32 scale, plastic model kit. This is what the body of the model kit looks like. Now I've modified this one so far. I haven't put any body mounts in yet, but this will fit a chassis. But what I also did was, I was like, okay, because this isn't got the fender bulges that the race cars had. So I'm like, well, let me see if I can do some modifications. So what I've done is I've taken a couple of these Camaro models. You cut the hood along the edge of where the headlight brows are, and that whole front clip comes off. And then in the back, pop the taillights out. Of course, the bumpers come off front and rear. And then I took with a Dremel and opened up the back of the car to take the Firebird taillights. This is one that's already mounted into a chassis. This is just a mock-up at this point. And then it'll get final paint. This is another one that's in process, a little further along. Some mods I had to do to make it fit the chassis. And then this is the decal kit for the Titus car. I'm basically going to have to create the one for the Hobbs car. It was pretty much a reverse paint scheme of the Titus car. The Titus car was white with the blue stripes, number 8. The Hobbs car was a dark blue, white stripes, white rear spoiler, and it was a number 79. The Quartz car was also dark blue, but it had green, almost, I'd want to say almost like a lime color green stripes and numbers, and that was number 73. I don't know if I'll be doing that one or not. If I do, great. If I don't, I'm fine with just doing the 2. But I wanted to do it so that I can complete, or come pretty close to completing, my Trans-Am collection. I wish, somebody would do the 70 Javelin body and do the team cars of Mark Donohue and Peter Rebson. So far, they've only done the 71, and I believe that was done so they could also use the mold to do the Alabama State Police car, and they've done a couple other Javelin race cars as well. I think they did the Jaco Maggio, or Majako, or however the hell you pronounce his name, who actually won the Trans-Am championship when it was split into 2 classes. I think he won that in 74. That was basically after the original Trans-Am had been broken up and swapped and changed, and they started letting in, all kinds of wild stuff, and it became where it was pretty much a mirror image to the IMSA Camel GT series. You had wide body cars with huge flares and gigantic whale tail spoilers. Pretty cool cars, but they were nothing like the street, basically street version cars that were raced in the early Trans-Am. So that's where we are with that. And when I get these complete, I'll do another video and show them off to see what everybody thinks. I've got some of the loose parts painted. Yeah, that's about where we are. But you see how the fit is so far. I want to try and work a little bit better with these fender scoops. This one here is a little bit better. This one here was a little bit rougher. But it is, you know, I had to basically hack the scoops out of the fenders, file them down thin enough that they would stick, you know, without completely sticking way out. They actually stick out too far, in my opinion, right now, further than they should. But you know, it is a race car, so it is what it is. And maybe if I do this one, I'll try to see if I can get them as absolutely as thin as possible to see if I get them to fit to the body better, and go from there. But as you can see, the difference and why I decided to chop up these Camaro models is, A, you can see the difference in length. Now, these are sister cars, so scaling is something that I don't know which one is more correct on scale. They both sat on a 108-inch wheelbase. They both are the same basic length, other than a couple of inches because of different noses on the cars. The rear of the cars is pretty similar. You can see where the taillight panel was different. Now, this is something that's interesting, and I don't know that this is something that's incorrect in one of the way these models is done. But if you look at the rear window shape on the Firebird, it looks squarer at the trunk than it does on the Camaro. And you can see how the distance from the trunk opening to the top of the back, or the bottom of the back window on that panel, is a lot shallower on the Firebird. So again, I don't know if it's just the way that these were molded or how close they are to actually correct and scale. But that's what we're looking at. Maybe the cars had two different rear windows. Maybe that they did do a difference that way. I don't honestly know. But you can see underneath what I did was I scored this right along the cut lines for the hood and came down, and then where those headlight fender extensions are around the headlights, there's a faint line there, and I used that line to cut across. Then once that was done, you can take the Pontiac nose and graft it on. The hood, you know, it fits the opening, it's the exact opening. I did have to kind of shorten this up a little bit because, again, this model is longer than the Camaro model. So I don't know, again, if that's a scaling issue and which one's more correct. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the model is probably more scale correct than the slot car, but I don't know that for a fact, and I really don't care. Some people might get into the minutiae of that, and that's fine. But that's where this is, and you know, maybe in a week or two, I'll have something more I can show you guys as far as the finished product goes. But right now, I'm going to stop the camera, move it over to the track, and we're going to give the two shadows a blast. All right, hang tight. All right, so we're back. Let me get a track a quick dust. And for anybody who may not have seen the last video that I did, where I talked about this track cleaner. This whole setup can be had for $4 or change at the Dollar Tree. They sell this part, that part there, comes with a head. Buy your handle, screw it together, and then they also sell replacement heads, so you can pull that out when it gets real funky, throw it in your washer, pull it out, and it's ready, clean to use. So for basically, like I said, $3 to $4, you got something you can clean your track with. It's not going to break the bank. It does a nice job. It'll pull all the stuff off. It's microfiber, so it's not going to scratch or damage anything, and it's wide enough that on my Skeletrix track it covers pretty much the entire racing surface. And if you want to get the borders, you can just swing out and get them as well, and just make a couple of passes, and you can get your track surface ready to go. So we'll give that a shot. All right. So we'll give the Jackie car a blast. These cars run extremely well. I mean, right out of the box. I mean, I have done absolutely nothing to this. No setup. And it just goes like hell. Let's do some lap times and we'll see what we're getting out of this. We'll do 10 laps. Of course, I fly off the track first corner. Alright, that's our 10 laps. Let's see what our fastest lap time was. 6.7 seconds. And for this track, that comes out to 134.866 mile per hour average speed. So that's hauling the mail pretty well. Let's give old George a shot and see what he can do. All right, let's go. A little tail out on this one, a little tail happy. Probably need to clean the tires off. 6.6. So Giorgio's a little bit, was a tenth of a second quicker. And that comes out to 136.909 mile per hour. So George edged out Jackie this time. But yeah, that's going to be it for this go around, guys. Figured I'd just give you a video, catch you up. Haven't done one in a while. I haven't got any new cars in a while, other than the projects I'm working on. Should be a busy couple months, excuse me, coming up though. I know I have some Scale Auto cars due. There's the Joda Porsche hypercar. There's the Tyrrell F1 cars, and I have a bunch of other stuff that's all pre-ordered, just waiting to come in. Waiting for the Carrera NASCARs to come in and give them a blast around the track, see how they go. They look like they ought to be a fun car to drive, so we'll see. But anyway, have fun, keep collecting, keep racing, and I'll catch you on the next video.